Man.
Zoe? Oh, man.
Zoe?
Yes?
Let me tell you something.
Okay.
Unprecedented support for you in the is Funfetti cake the best cake in the world type argument.
Yes.
Argument?
Yeah.
We didn't really have... We had a...
No, you told me that I said something crazy.
We had a musical disagreement. I did say that, and I don't say that a lot, but what I heard was that.
Yeah.
So it's like you want to be the truth all the time. Mm-hmm. I don't want to be the guy who calls the girl crazy. I don't believe in that anymore.
You were that guy, though.
That's something that a 22-year-old does when he hasn't experienced all the different things that women could be yet.
Yeah. And
when you don't know that maybe sometimes it's your fault, you say, women are crazy.
You called me crazy, bro.
I did call you that because that's what I heard. It is crazy to me. I'll double down.
The new KFC Double Down Chicken Sandwich.
That would be your number one favorite cake. Doesn't mean it can't be. However,
for the longest time, it was the only cake I ate. I didn't love cake. I didn't love it at birthday parties or anything.
When did you have it, like at kids' birthday parties?
Oh, it was really only my siblings' birthday parties because I wasn't really allowed to go to birthday parties as a kid.
You weren't really allowed to go to birthday parties?
No.
What was the danger?
People weren't allowed to have our telephone number as kids.
Yeah.
And we only played with the kids in the neighborhood, but no one had our telephone number, and we weren't allowed to go to other people's homes.
And let's go back to the argument. And let's look at the two viewpoints and how they were constructed. And now here's me feeling badly about that.
You don't have to feel bad about it. You don't have to feel bad about it. But it was the only cake that I was like...
Yes, but also... And I'll triple down.
The new KFC Double Down Chicken Sandwich.
The KFC triple down. I also am like... But then you weren't always like that. And then you learned about all different types of cake. I don't think your favorite type of cake is always ingrained in you from a young age. You had a small sampling size as a child, and then you grew up, and you have all these beautiful friends and family who get married and have married cake. Mm-hmm. And you've had all different types of married cake, which is some of the best cake in the world.
No, it's not.
Married cake?
Yes.
I guess if the... You don't like... Dude, isn't there a whole day dedicated to people testing wedding cake and making sure it's the best possible shit?
Yeah, sure, but wedding cake isn't always great.
Okay.
It's not good.
And I'll quadruple down.
The new
Haven't me and you been to delicatessens that have been kiss out of this world?
Uh-huh, sure.
Cheesecake Factory?
Well, that's not cake.
Bella Bakery or whatever the fuck it's called?
Okay.
The place, Sweet, what's the fucking other place? Do you know what I'm talking about? The cake place?
Yes.
Where once in a while, mid-pandemic, we would get ungorged.
Yes.
And get 3 different types of like slices of different pies and cakes.
Yes.
All of that is trumped by...
I love Funfetti cake.
Yeah.
It's always good. It always slaps.
I respect it so much, man.
You're not going to change my mind.
I'm not trying to.
But I do appreciate for all of you people who are on my side.
Overwhelming support.
Yes. And fuck anybody that's not. Eat a dick.
And now we're just starting to get into... Okay, well, it's hurtful. Zoe, did I tell the story on this podcast about the smell in my dad's car? We talked about that, right?
I don't remember if we talked about it, but it is a very funny story.
Well, let's just do Spark Notes.
Okay.
There was a smell in my dad's car. It was gross. And then, because they live in the woods, and it is not uncommon in the woods to have a rodent or something die in your car.
Right.
In and under, they go by the engine because it's warm, and then get mort.
Yeah.
And then, so he took the car, because that has happened before.
Right.
And he took the car, and he took it into the place, and the guy in the place was just like, you threw up in it.
Yeah.
And my dad was like, no, because I would remember that. And throwing up is traumatic experience. And I think I would know if I threw up in the car.
Right.
And he said, no, And then that is, I guess the premise of this story would be, who else hates mansplaining is men. Because mansplaining is so prevalent that men also do it to men.
Yes.
A lot of people don't think about that part.
No, they don't.
And then earlier today, I had a conversation with someone who told me that I was overthinking something after I had just laid out things that happened without any personal opinion or any, I think this about this. It was just like, here are 4 facts that happened. And somebody says, I'm overthinking it. And I was like, that must be what it's like to be a woman. And to get, is that what gaslighting is?
Yes.
And I didn't like that.
No. Because it doesn't feel good. It does not feel good.
No, because you're like, I know how I feel. I know
Right.
I like funfetti cake.
See, I have this thing that I'm kind of like, I'm kind of an asshole. So when I know I'm right, I will fight you.
Yeah. We both have that. We're both not very good at, like, there are people who can just know.
100%. Yes.
Dude, there are people who could just know that they're right and be like, that's okay. I'm right.
No, not me.
And then that's it.
Not me. There's nothing better to me when somebody tells me that I'm right when they've tried to fight me on it.
Yeah, but you need a certain specific type of person to have that volley back and forth.
Yeah, no.
Not because
I don't give a fuck who it is.
Yes, but you know that you don't always get that, even if you are right.
100%.
But like my mom, I think is the type of person, maybe less now, but for her whole life, she was like, "Oh, you could say whatever you want; it doesn't matter, because I'm right, and we could have no conversation."
Yes.
And then I turned out to be the opposite of that.
Yeah.
But I would love to be more that.
Yeah, it's my favorite. It's my fucking favorite when somebody tells me I'm right.
Yeah. Yes. How often does it happen?
Often.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. I really like it too. There's been a couple of times. Now, we all know I love my business partner. Jamie she is solid
Yes.
human being.
Yes. Physically as well.
Yes. And there's been a few times when we were building out both rooms, that, she would try to fight me on something. And I'm like, Jay, that's not going to work.
Physically with her kicks.
Yes. No, that's never happened. I just make clear that right away.
I'd pay to see
There's
it.
never. I don't know. That bitch has been taking boxing classes too.
Dude.
So
That's what
no,
I'm
thank
saying.
you.
Like, you're out of your mind, and she is fucking American Gladiator.
Yeah, she's a fucking superhero.
So pretty good fight.
And there's nothing better that once I leave her for a little while and go and do something else or whatever, and then I come back and she tells me, you know what, you're right, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. Can you
No.
please repeat that?
So you can't.
Please.
You can't have that. You can't do that part.
I'm gonna need you. I'm gonna need you to repeat that.
You're right.
I love it.
You can't do that part because then you're an asshole.
Yeah, 100% I'm an asshole.
Yeah.
That's okay. I have come to terms with my assholeness. And I'm happy about it.
Yeah. I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but once you get to the point in your life where you're like, I don't have to have people like me all the time because I don't know you and I don't know if I want you to like me. I'm just going to be me and then you figure it out. After that, everything all better.
Yeah.